Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now I do all things crafty, but on today's video I'm going to show you how I made these resin earrings and then I sublimated on the top. Now this was an idea that was brought to me by the Best Uni when she shared out Kathy's Jewelry and Crafts video in her community. And that was the first time I'd ever seen this process done. So I'll put a link to the Best Uni's channel and Kathy's Jewelry and Crafts channel in the video description so you can check those out as well. Now the magic ingredient to making this happen is some mica powder. And so I've done a few pairs of earrings. I've done these Jeeps, this cute animal print. Now in these I actually used a pink mica powder. And then I used the design that I'm going to show you in this video. And then on this one, I used some green mica powder, or kind of a light bluish green. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the basic steps. Mixing UV resin with mica powder, forming the earrings, and then subbing on the top. Now, I made my first UV resin earrings the other day, and that was my last video, and I've learned a few things since then. First and foremost, I was using this lamp, and at the time, the lamp had this base on it, so I was pouring my resin, then being really careful to lift it and put it into the lamp. Well, I realized this comes off. So now what I can do is just pour my resin in and then move this over my project. Makes it a whole lot easier. Now my resin, I did buy that from the Best Uni, and I'll put a link to her shop as well. This is an excellent resin. And then I got this design off of Creative Fabrica. Now this originally started at 12 inches by 12 inches, so I shrunk it really small so that it would fit onto my earrings. Now I'm going to press my sublimation images onto my earrings with my Cricut Easy Press. And so I have this tile just to protect my cutting mat. I don't want to warp my cutting mat by adding that heat. And then on top of that, I'll have this silicone mat. So silicone, you can even put it in the oven, so it can withstand the heat. That is not a problem. I like to work on top of it. It keeps everything else clean. And then you can usually just wash things off of this, or if you get any of the UV resin on it, you can cure it and then it peels right off. Now here's the mold that I'm going to use, and I already have one of the earrings formed. So I'll just do one more and then I'll show you how to sublimate onto it. Now I'm going to start by putting some of this UV resin in this little medicine cup. And I found these medicine cups on Amazon for a really, really great price. You get 100 of them. And when I looked today, the cost was only $3 and something. Now that was on sale, and that might change. But at the time I'm posting this video, the cost was only $3 and something for 100 of these. Okay, so I have my mica powder. And then I have a little coffee stir stick. So I'm just going to get a nice mounded up bit of this on my stir stick. Let's go for a little bit more. And then I want to stir this until it's really nice and mixed up. Basically, you want enough to colorize all of the UV resin, but it doesn't need to be so much that it's really just opaque. It's fine like this. All right, so then I'm going to put it in my mold. And the beauty of this resin is it is not going to harden until you either put it under a UV light or you put it outside in the sunshine. Now I want to give it just a little bit of time so it can fill in all the corners, it can get around that little stem that makes your hole, and it can self-level. Now, if you need to, you can kind of rock your mold back and forth to help the process out. Then I like to fill my molds so they're barely domed up, but not overflowing. When this is curing under the lamp, what I have found is it'll shrink up just a tiny bit. So that's why I like to have it kind of domed up. Now I see a little bubble right here, so let's go ahead and pop that. And then I need to let the UV resin fill in behind those stems. Now the one thing that I really want to stress is, in this process, this resin has to be really good and cured before you sublimate on top of it. And ask me how I know, because when I was working on this one, the outsides were cured, but it separated when I put that heat on it, and it just kind of oozed out. So the inside of this was not fully cured. Now on that one, I did 60 seconds under the lamp, 60 more seconds, flipped it for 30, and did it 30 seconds from the backside. So 2.5 minutes. So on this one, I'm going to do a full 4 minutes. 2 minutes from the top, 2 minutes from the backside. Okay, that's had enough time to self-level. I think we're good to go. Now with my heat lamp, or with my UV lamp, I have 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 99 low heat. So like I said, I'm going to do 60 seconds. I'm going to let that run down. Then I'll do 60 more seconds. I'll flip it. And then I'll do 2 more sets of 60 seconds. So before I flip it, I just want to touch it and make sure that it feels nice and hard, and it does. You wouldn't want to flip it over if it's not. But this is a fairly high wattage UV lamp, so it does a really nice job. All right, so I'll flip it over and I'll do 2 more minutes. Now the other thing I want to talk about is the molds. So here's another mold that I have. And the important thing is, with UV resin, you need to be able to have the light source get all the way around it. You need to be able to penetrate this. And so you cannot have an opaque mold. Okay, so let's see how these demold. Notice they just pop up off the silicone mold. And really the only thing holding them in is they're wedged in with that little stem. So they come out super, super easily. All right, so let's get these ready to press. I have my sublimation designs, and then I have my 4 earring pieces. The 4 earring pieces need to go smooth side down. And I'm going to make it where they don't match really. I don't like them matchy-matchy. I'd rather they just coordinate. Now I want a lot of that pink. So I'm just going to go something like this. Now I've tried various ways with this. I've tried to press these on a traditional heat press. I've tried to press them all at one time under a Cricut Easy Press, but unfortunately, the method that takes the longest time is what's worked best for me, and that's to use my little Cricut Easy Press Mini and do them each one by one. All right, so I'm going to cut these apart. And then I'm just going to tape these down from the back side. So here's what I'm going to do on each one of these. I have it with the sublimation paper side up. Then I'm going to protect my Easy Press Mini by putting another piece over it. And then I'm going to press each one of these for about 45 seconds with my Mini. Alright, so I have it on high. I did that about 45 seconds. And I'm going to sneak a peek and see if it looks like it took really well. Now I think that looks really good, but you're going to have to wait till the end to see that. I'll do the same thing on each of these and then we'll look at them together. Alright, let's start with the first one that I did. And I'm just going to peel this up in case I need to put it right back down. I don't want to take the tape all the way off. So I'm going to peel it up from one side. And that looks great. I'm very, very happy with that one. All right, let's go ahead and try another one. Again, I don't want to peel it all the way up, but I want to start on one side and kind of peek. Another success. That one looks good. So one more to go, and hopefully it's good too. I think that's 4 great presses. All right, so I have my hardware. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I'm going to either skip it or fast forward through it. That wasn't the main purpose of the video. And then I'll show you my earrings at the end. Now here's my final earrings. I don't even think I'm going to add hardware to those, and that's kind of messy. But I'm really happy with how these 3 pairs ended up. Now with this process, you're really just limited by your imagination. And again, a big shout out to the Best Uni for sharing Kathy's Jewelry and Crafts and giving me this great idea. Thanks so much for joining me and watching the video till the end. And until my next one, bye-bye.